That was Levert Casanova. So Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, he said on a radio show, and he said, before I say this, I know I'm going to get in trouble. He said that he wasn't worried during the Capitol riot because he knew there were good people. There were good law-abiding people who would never cause any harm. He also said that he would be afraid if it were BLM or Antifa. So he wasn't afraid of the Capitol riots. He would be afraid if it were BLM and Antifa. I wonder if Mike Pence feels the same way, because he was spirited away. He was run off out of the Capitol with armed guards all around him. I wonder if he feels the way. What Ron Johnson is saying is that he is more afraid of black people with signs than white people with nooses. It's interesting that he would make this comparison between Black Lives Matter and Antifa and what happened at the Capitol, because initially he was one of the senators that for the debunked idea that it was Antifa that attacked the Capitol. So now the group that he would have been afraid of if they had attacked the Capitol, he obviously wasn't, or obviously he never believed the idea that he forwarded is that it was Antifa that was responsible for it. What it is that white guys like him, older white people in general, are afraid of what is going to happen, not what has happened. Like they're afraid of the thing that they can't see rather than the thing that they can. When Billie Holiday was being tortured and persecuted by the government for her song Strange Fruit, it wasn't the incident, it wasn't the lynching that they were worried about, it was the response to a song. We're not going to stop the lynching, we're just going to stop her from singing about it. Because what they are afraid of, what they seem to always be worried about, is the reaction. They know that such heinous things have been done, such horrible things have been done, that they are worried about the day when they get their comeuppance. Because you know what would happen if Black Lives and Antifa or Black Lives Matter, don't even throw Antifa in it, because we're not together, we don't have the same ends. I don't even know if that's a real thing. But Black Lives Matter, if they were storming the Capitol, that would mean that they were powerful. That would mean that they had overwhelmed those security forces. That would mean that they had a toehold in government. Yes, you would have a reason to be afraid. Most people like him fear that black people are going to one day do to them what has been done to us. That is their ultimate fear. They fear that more than anything else. They fear that so much that they were very prepared when the Capitol had Black Lives Matter, not as much when they had insurrectionists. Very prepared when they're dealing with black people. They're very prepared when they have a black man who they think might have a gun, not as prepared when they have a white dude who they know has one. Because it is in their minds that they see us. It is not what is before them, it's what they think will happen. They have been so horrible, have done such. If you looked up heinous acts, it would be something America has done behind it. Almost everything you can think of conceivably evil to be done, systematically destructive that can be done, this country has done it. It has done it in the name of white people. And now there are people who are openly in the Senate and protecting, and they're only to protect, and in the Congress, they're to protect only white supremacy. That's what they're there for. They're to shepherd and protect white supremacy. They're not there to make sure that people get stimulus release. They're there to make sure white supremacy stays by. They're there to make sure that they still have the power base they want. It's interesting that right after the election, they forwarded this idea on a debunked theory. 43 states and 250 laws. 250 laws passed in 43 states to make it harder to vote because they're afraid of what happens. They're afraid of what happens when they go away. And I'll tell you this. Although different ends of the spectrum, Sharon Osbourne and Ron Johnson have one thing in common. Whether it's Sharon Osbourne deriding Cheryl Underwood, forgetting that she was on a show called The Talk instead of The Help, and Ron Johnson saying these racist, incendiary things that he knows. Before he made the statement, he said, I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. If you didn't think it was racist or you didn't think it was bothersome, why did you say it? But with people like that doing the things that they do, so abetted by all millions and millions of people in the United States of America, I can say this. Whether they do it on purpose or whether they do it accidentally, whether they're willing or unwilling accomplices, those two people, the one thing that Sharon Osbourne and Ron Johnson had in common is that they believe black people are okay as long as they stay in their place. The way she talked to Cheryl, don't you cry. She talked to somebody who she believed she was superior to. He talked to people that he believed couldn't do anything about him because he's superior to him. As long as people like that are in places where people see them and they can have interaction with people's life, one in the media and one in government, they will always, white supremacy will always be alive and well with shepherds like them to protect it. That's a little note from a GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.